Hey everybody, this is Viper4724, and today we are going to be taking a look at a brand new Planeswalker. As you can see, he is only at level 32 right now, and that is Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. He has an excellent skill set, Spiraling Time. These are all only level 2 right now. Return target creature that costs 12 or less to your opponent's hand. Sight of the Future, draw 2 cards and gain 1 extra swap. That is awesome. Very happy with that move. It does a lot. It helps a lot. It's a lot of fun to use. And Plane and Chaos, create a Zhalfir's Fate token. Honestly, I prefer to use this move out of all 3 of them. The Zhalfir's Fate token is a support card. Whenever you draw a card, your opponent loses a reinforcement. If they can't, they exile a creature. So, this starts getting stuff off the board, off the board. It's a lot of fun to play with, especially if you're drawing cards. So, let's take a look at the current deck that I'm using. As you can see, right now, he's only able to have, by only, 4 creatures, 5 supports, and he can have 6 spells. Right now, I don't feel like the spells are the strongest way to go, and not really happy with the spells that I have available to me. This is a current standard deck. This is using all cards that you can use in every event available right now. So what we're looking at is Origins, Hour of Devastation, Ixalan, Rivals of Ixalan, and the Dominaria. All of those are available to use in Type 2, and these are all Type 2 cards. So, if you haven't noticed yet, I did go with a Sphinx deck. We're going to be using Azor the Lawbringer. When this creature enters the battlefield, your opponent can't cast spells until the beginning of your next turn. Whenever this creature attacks, if there are 6 or more white gems on the board, you gain 8 life. And if there are 6 or more blue gems on the board, draw 4 cards. Starfield of Nyx, old card, great card, one of my favorites. Definitely one of my favorite white cards. At the beginning of your turn, the last support you control that was destroyed is returned to the battlefield. If you control 4 or more supports, all creatures you control gain +5/+5. So with the Starfield of Nyx, automatically going with Gideon's Defeat and the Hixus Prison. Hixus Prison, whenever you take combat damage from an opponent's creature, that creature becomes disabled. When this support is destroyed, enable all your opponent's creatures. And Gideon's Defeat, which I absolutely love, repeatedly coming back into play. When a creature your opponent controls attacks, it is exiled, then you gain 5 life, and this support is destroyed. And then, with Starfield of Nyx, it's brought back the next turn. So, let's take a look at our next Sphinx. This is from Origins. When this card enters the battlefield, all cards in your opponent's hand have their mana cost increased by 6 until the beginning of next turn. Unesh, Cross Sphinx, Sovereign. Sphinx creatures in your hand cost 6 less. When this creature enters the battlefield, if you control 4 or less cards in hand, fetch the first 2 cards in your opponent's library to your hand. You can get a lot of great cards that way, a lot of fun using your opponent's hand against them, well, cards against them. We also have Overwhelming Splendor. Each card in your opponent's hand costs 6 more. If you haven't used Disciple of the Ring, I definitely suggest it. By far one of the best wizards in the game, a great card to use. Activate 3. The first card your opponent controls loses 4 mana. Disciple of the Ring gains +4/+4 until the beginning of your next turn, and the first creature with Defender or Reach your opponent controls is disabled until the end of your turn. We're going to use Sphinx's tutelage to negate more, and then just negate to make them lose mana. So the whole goal here is to not let your opponent play very much, and when they do, we will get them with the prison and the defeat. I'm sorry, I don't know what's happening right now. I don't know why it did that, but it did. Thankfully, we're at the end of that, so let's hop into a match. And I do want to mention, after I'm done with this match or two, I am going to open up a couple new packs. Now, I did open some new cards last night, went through some new cards, and did not get any mythics in the regular packs. I did get Kamal's Vow through the Elite pack, so that is nice. I am excited to use that card. We're going to get that overwhelming Splendor out first, and then throw in the Disciple of the Ring. Oh, let's take a look at his mana loadout right now. Right now his bonuses, +2 for white, +3 for blue, -2 for black, equal on red, +1 for green. So we want to stay away from the black mana. Obviously, blue gives us everything, or the most of everything. So we are going to try to stick with that. This is going to be a slow start because we only have the same cards in our hands. Not very much fun when you start off that way, but it does happen. It's not the biggest deal in the world. You just fight through it. Okay, so now everything in their hand costs 6 more, and we used our cheap negate card to get rid of 3 mana from them. Now, my hope is to get any white to come down, which we didn't. Cruel Reality is not a fun card to have in play. So, please do remember Cruel Reality isn't a standard card anymore because it got switched out with the current set becoming available. And that is the tough part about Training Ground when you're trying out new decks and you're trying to figure out good standard decks. It's hard to go against old cards that you aren't prepared to go against, and it doesn't give you a great look at your deck at all times. But at least Training Grounds doesn't affect any stats in the game. Which, makes it okay. I like playing harder decks. I like playing against cards that I'm not expecting to be playing against, so I can see how my deck actually runs. Okay, so they did get rid of our support. Notice when our Sphinx came into play, all of their cards cost 6 more for that turn. I would really like to get more cards than the Disciple of the Ring on the board, but I am going to have to get another one of her on the board also. Now, we're going to use our extra turn here. We're going to draw a couple cards. Biggest reason I'm using that right now is because I wanted the card draw. Okay. There we go. Okay, so the name of the game right now is making that her not be able to get new cards into play. by using the Sphinx, by using the Disciple's ability to drain 4 mana. And getting the Overwhelming Splendor back into play. We are delaying the game quite a bit, which is fine. That is kind of the goal of this deck. Prefer to get the Sphinxes in with that Starfield of Nyx to give them all the +5/+5 bonus and get them all attacking. I am somewhat looking for ways to get more black mana down to the bottom so I can start chipping away at the cruel reality that they putting into play. Perfect example of why we need support kills. Because when supports like cruel reality come into play, it definitely ruins the game for you. Okay. I'm going to take the extra swap again. So now when the game isn't going your way and you're looking for something to help you out, that extra swap and the 2-card draw is huge to me. Okay, so we want to get as much as we can out of each turn. Now, she is destroying supports. She has her own support in play. We are not looking very good at this point. Hopefully with our mana gains, we can pull something off here. And some matches are more of a grind than other matches. It's just the way the game plays. And honestly, I think that's a good thing. Because you should have some tough matches. It is more rewarding if and when you can win those matches. There we go. That was a good play. So now let's keep going with this. Okay, let's see where we're at here. So remember, we do have an extra swap. I think I'm going to go this way first. There we go. Okay. Okay. Not leaving us many options. I would really like to be able to get everything in my hand out there. We got to figure out the best way possible for that. So, see what options we do have. Now, sadly, we are, well, not sadly for us, we're getting close to getting rid of that crew reality, but sadly for us, on the other hand, the board setup isn't really in our favor right now. Okay. Let's see here. Hmm. Okay, so when the Sphinx comes into play, when Unesh comes into play, he does make the other Sphinxes in the hand cost 6 less. So that's good. More trouble of playing with the old sets is all the kill spells that are available. And clearly we are going to be losing this match. Everybody's got to lose some, especially with a deck that isn't up to its full potential. There's another crew reality. And that's the end of the match. So I am going to play another match here. And so you do know, when I am leveling up my planeswalkers, I always leave that open and level them up when I lose a match. As you can see, I'm at 0 life right now. He's leveled up. He gets 3 more HP. And he's at full health again, so I don't waste a potion. And we're going to hop right back into another match. Taking on another brand new planeswalker, Karn. Very exciting planeswalker, colorless. A lot of fun to use. If you don't have him yet, I would definitely suggest getting him. He's worth it. Now remember, our black mana bonus is our worst mana bonus. So instead of going on the bottom right here for the white and then the black, we're going to go down and go white and get the green up top for a better mana bonus. There we go. Getting some good matches so far. Now, when you're playing a support deck, and you're playing with a support deck, Sword of the Animist is not the support that you want to see put onto the board because it destroys 3x3 blocks every turn. So if it's possible to get rid of it, you definitely want to get rid of it. Okay. Now, hopefully, with bringing that red down there, we can start moving stuff around to get rid of the Animus before he gets any creatures on the board. Now another thing that we want to look at is what card we're getting rid of here, because we are going to take this extra swap. Not the extra swap, I'm sorry, not an extra swap, but we are going to take the extra draw on that blue highlighted gem there. There we go. Now he is getting his Karn token into play. Oh, he didn't use it for some reason. I'm not sure why he didn't put his third ability, a Karn's Construct, into play, but he didn't. So I'm okay with that. We do want to get Unesh out first before Alhammaret, because he will reduce Alhammaret's cost by 6. Notice we are going towards the highlighted gems to use her ability, the Disciple of the Ring's ability, to make them lose 4 mana. And I am actually going to go out of my way to get rid of their support, because even though I had less mana bonus with that, I was able to make them lose 4 of their own mana, which was a good trade-off in my eyes. Okay. Getting our creatures on the board. Now, because he does have creatures on the board as well, I am going to go for the third ability here. And continue to play with my hand the way that it is. Okay, that'll slow him down for 1 turn. And this should finish him off. Either way, we're still going to be going for that third ability. There we go. Sorry I didn't get to play the ability. I hope you did see the way that that deck is intended to use to continue to reduce the other team's mana so you can get your own deck going, use it to your advantage, get some great creatures out there, and eventually win the match. Now, I hope you enjoyed both matches. I am very sorry about the loss on the first one. Cruel Reality is a very good card, very difficult to play against. We are going to go on and still open a couple packs. If you don't care to watch the packs being open, I really do appreciate you watching the matches. I hope you enjoyed them. And I do have to say, Teferi is a great planeswalker that can actually be used in the future. And when I'm looking at planeswalkers, I look at what are their abilities for the current set, how much did they use the current set to actually work, and how well can they be used in the future with all other sets. And Teferi is one of the top planeswalkers, I think, to be able to be used past, present, and future. So that is really awesome. We are going to take a look at this rare that I got, Marwyn the Nurturer. She is legendary. 4/4 Elf Druid. Whenever another elf enters the battlefield under your control, this creature gets +1/+1. At the beginning of your turn, your green mana bonus is increased by X until the end of turn, where X is the number of elves you control. So that's every turn. The more elves you have, the more mana bonus you have. That is absolutely huge. You can do a lot with this card. Definitely putting it in a Kiora deck using the blue spells, drawing extra cards, continuously keeping your hand full. Very exciting card. I am very excited to use this. I think this is one of the better rares in the game, or in the set, and very happy to get it. As you can see, I have not opened very many packs, so I am getting a lot of new cards. And after this pack, I'm going to open one more pack, hoping for some blue and white spells that I can use in my Teferi deck to make it a little bit better, because I don't really want to be using the negate. Okay, here we go. Squee the Immortal. This is a very interesting card to me. Reinforcements don't change this creature's power and toughness. Okay, that's completely fine. No matter how many times you play this card, he's going to stay a 3/2. Honestly, I feel with legendary cards, they should mirror more the real game, where they either cancel each other out or you can't play multiple, or some effect of that. So I do like that part, that reinforcements don't change this creature's power and toughness. Also, when this creature is destroyed, return it to the battlefield with its reinforcements, then reinforce it. So you're still being able to get the city's blessings. He is immortal. He's not going to die. The only way you can get rid of him is exiling him. So a fun card to use. He does cost 20, however you want to look at that. But another exciting card. I really did take interest in him when I saw him. And here we go, Two-Headed Giant. Whenever this creature attacks, if there are more than 7 red gems, it gains double strike. If there are less than 7 red gems, it gains menace. And if there are exactly 7 red gems, it gains menace and double strike. Another fun card. Once again, making cards' abilities worth, or being able to use cards' abilities, whether you have more than the number, less than the number. And with the Two-Headed Giant, I really like, if you have exactly the right number, you get double bonus. So another fun card. Really excited to use this one. I will be using this one. I love double strike. One of the most powerful abilities in the game to get double damage and to potentially not die if you're attacking or blocking. So awesome card. Very happy to get it. Now, I have not opened a mythic card in the regular Dominaria packs. We're going to try one more pack here to see how we do. Hoping for at least one mythic somewhere in here. Okay, another rare, Yawgmoth's Vile Offering. Cast only if you control a legendary creature. Pick one of the first 2 different creatures from your opponent's graveyard. Move that card to the battlefield under your control. Your opponent can't activate Planeswalker abilities until the end of their next turn. Okay, so this card only costs 10 to play. Yes, you do have to have you have to have a legendary creature, but you get to get a free creature from your opponent, and then your opponent can't activate their own abilities. This is a great card. Love this card. Very happy to get that card. And another rare, Jaya's Immolating Inferno. Can only be cast if you control a legendary creature. Okay, here we go. Deal X damage to your opponent and their first and second creatures, where X is the sum of their toughness, up to 10. So you're going to be dealing hopefully 10 damage to your opponent, and then killing off their creatures for only a cost of 11. I think that's a pretty good card. Once again, the caveat is you have to have a legendary creature in play. That is okay. Chainer's Torment. I love Chainer from past sets. Especially Torment, the set. I wish we could get old sets being brought into the game. That would be a ton of fun. There's a lot of old cards that I absolutely love. Okay, another rare. Benelish Marshal. Human Knight. While this creature is on the battlefield, other creatures you control get +1/+1. If you control a historic card, they also gain first strike. So there is another card that gives your creatures first strike, and once they all have first strike, you turn it over, and it gives them all double strike. So this is a great card to go with that. Kind of fun if you want to build a deck around it. Here we go, a masterpiece. Well, I have not opened a mythic, but apparently I am able to open a masterpiece. So here we go, Rishadan Port. Activate 2 of each color. This is by far my favorite masterpiece in the set, by the way. I really, really love this masterpiece. Activate 2 of each color. Your opponent's mana bonus in the activated color is reduced to 2 until the end of their turn. So you can you're going to be reducing your opponent's mana every turn. If you can get a couple off, you can reduce multiple mana bonuses. Very excited to get that card. That is awesome. Well, you never know what you're going to open. There we go. And another new rare, Memorial to Glory. At the beginning of your turn, convert 2 gems to white. When this support is destroyed, create 2 soldier tokens. Think it's a little overpriced. Yep, let's just go with that. It's a little overpriced. Well, there we go. Brand new masterpiece. Still have not opened any mythics in the set. I really hope you enjoyed the 2 matches and watching the cards being opened. I hope you have a lot better luck in getting the mythics than I have this set. Thank you all for watching. I'm Viper4724. Have a great night.